This is the plaintiff, Myrma Santiago. She says she hired the defendant to custom make 18 balloon centerpieces for her wedding. And as soon as she saw the finished product on the tables that day, she was horrified. The balloons looked malnourished because there wasn't enough helium in them. An hour into the party, some of them are so deflated they were lying on their sides. She deserves a refund and is suing for every penny of the $388.81 she's owed. This is the defendant, Esmeralda. She says she set up the balloons on time. And when she left, everything looked good and she heard nothing from the plaintiff. 1 week later, the woman starts ranting and raving how she ruined her wedding because 5 balloons didn't float right. She's been in business 27 years. She would have replaced the 5 balloons if the woman called her on the day of the reception. And she's not returning any of this eccentric woman's money. She's accused of deflating a bride.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to make balloon centerpieces and says they deflated, but the defendant says the balloons were A-okay. It's the case of your balloons really blow.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Myrma Santiago?
Correct.
You are suing the defendant's company. You don't want the name of the company mentioned or your last name, so we'll just call you Esmeralda? Yes. Okay. For $388.81 that you want returned to you because you feel you should get a complete 100% refund on her centerpieces that she made for your wedding.
Correct.
All right. I'm going to ask you what happened to the centerpieces in a moment, but first I have to ask you this. Your complaint starts with the following sentence. In July of 2017, I was getting married after being with my husband for 29 years.
Correct.
Are you the husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up. 29 years you guys dated?
No. We got married in court, civil, but then we decided to do the church.
Sit down. All right. I was ready to fleece you right now. Okay, then. I got it. All right. So you wanted 18 balloon centerpieces. Did you have a picture of what you had in mind?
Yes,
did you show
absolutely.
It to? Okay. Can I see the picture that you showed her?
And she also had pictures in her place, which led me to believe that she knew what she was doing.
Okay. All right. So you asked her for something like this?
Exactly, because
exactly
that's
like
gold
that.
and white. Yeah, and I told her that was the color theme.
Okay. So you enter into an agreement for $488.81 for how many centerpieces?
18.
18. All right. And do you have a picture of how they looked?
Absolutely.
What was the problem? Tell me about the problem.
As soon as I came into the hall, before any of the people come in and sit down, they let you check it out to make sure that all the tables are correct and everything. So when I saw the balloons, I said, oh my God, is this what that lady brought? He says, yes, she brought them about an hour ago. I said, but look, they're already deflated. They're already on the table. It's ridiculous. So I have pictures. This is the pictures before people actually came in. This is when people came in, but they weren't even eating yet. Balloons are supposed to be up. I've had helium balloons up for 48 hours.
I've had helium balloons in the a 2-story portion of my house for 6 months. A Barney balloon stayed there and mocked me because I couldn't reach it for months and months.
Right.
What happened? What do you think happened? Did she send you the pictures?
No, I never seen those pictures.
Okay, well, let's see them. Oy. Oh, this is bad, honey. I'm going to show you.
So does the plaintiff get a refund here?
Yes,
Because?
because they deflated.
How long should they last?
I'd say a good day.
I say so too, going inside the courtroom.
How do the balloons get made? Do you make them?
Yeah,
When
I
did
made
you
the
blow them up?
balloons.
The day before?
No, we
Okay.
don't do
Did
balloons
you blow them
one
up
day
enough?
before.
Take a look
Yes,
at it. Okay, but
they were.
Okay, but hold on, because the proof of that is the pictures. Look at the pictures. The balloons are not up in the air, they're on the table. That's disgraceful, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, so she calls you and tells you.
She calls me almost a week later.
I mean, that's not a setup. The people are in the
Yes,
wedding. You can
yes.
see that happened. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
If she had called me, maybe I would go back and
Maybe,
fix
how
it.
far do you live from the hall?
Maybe 40 minutes, 45
40 minutes. How long would it take you to buy more balloons?
I have the balloons
Okay,
at
so let's
the
assume you
store.
have double the balloons, all right? And then to inflate all the balloons.
Will take maybe 20
So that's
minutes.
like 2 hours into the wedding. How about just getting it right the first time, though, right?
Yes.
It's pretty bad.
Yes.
Did you know it was that bad, or you thought she was exaggerating?
I thought it was exaggerated.
Right.
Yes.
Why didn't you just send her the pictures?
A week later, after I had to calm down a little, because remember, you only get married once in church.
Well,
I
Even that well.
I pray to God that it will be.
Right,
After
right, right,
29
right.
years, I can't even think of that doing it
Okay.
again. Okay, a week later, I called her and I told her it was unsatisfactory. I was extremely upset and I wanted some of my money back. She agreed on the phone. She goes, yeah, you're right. But you know what? It wasn't my fault. I had to put them in a cab for an hour. It took us an hour to get there. I said, that's not my problem, nor do I care.
Right.
Okay, so she says, okay, come by the store, I'm gonna have money for you. So then I go to the store, there's a young lady, she doesn't even have the courtesy to wait for me, so at least we could talk. So the young lady tells me that she had all of a sudden a dental appointment and she left me the note with $100 in it. And I said, no, absolutely not, I went a little crazy, yes, but I
What'd
said,
you do?
no, tell.
You went a lot crazy,
Yes,
not a
I
little
did.
crazy.
And I told,
you were mean.
I was
You were
irate.
mean.
I was irate. So I
Yeah,
told
but
her,
you took it out on her. On the,
no, I told her to excuse me. I told her, you know something, your boss has some nerve to leave you here and take the brunt of my anger.
Well, why don't you just not give it to the employee?
Oh, it's just not, it wasn't easy
I mean,
to
you
do.
were like talking about calling immigration on her and stuff.
Oh, listen.
It was
but
crazy.
No, what I actually was saying was, I told her, are you undocumented? And she said,
Why
yes.
are you asking an employee?
Because she was nervous.
Well,
'Cause
how
she
about
was
because you're
nervous.
screaming and you're being nasty?
No, at first I wasn't screaming because she was nervous and acting really like she was going to get in trouble. I said, you're not going to get in trouble. Why are you acting like that? Are you undocumented? She said,
Do
yes.
you feel bad about how you treated the employee? Just because, you know, like you were
No.
kind of... Why? It wasn't personal. She didn't do anything wrong.
I know, but no, it's
well, then
you know,
you
the
should
whole,
feel bad.
you had to be there to
You should
to,
feel...
to
I don't
know.
have to be there.
Yeah,
I
well.
get angry. I know exactly what it feels like. I don't need to be there to see, you know... What you two should have, before you took a trip out there, I wish that there had been an agreement about how much money was going to be returned. But based
Well, I
on
tried.
what...
I said
We're good.
300.
We're done. Based on what I'm hearing, is there anything else you'd like to say? Because this cannot be your best work.
Okay. No, that was it.
All right, that's the answer. All right, well, in any event, this one's wrapped up rather nicely. You've already received $100.
Yes.
So what you're suing for is the remainder, and I think
Correct.
you're entitled to it. So $388.81, verdicts for the plaintiff, along with her court costs, of course, and good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, based on the pictures, the plaintiff prevails, no question about it. Esmeralda, the defendant's just come out of the courtroom. How do you feel right now?
Because they not even let me talk.
Well, what would you have said? The pictures kind of said it all, don't you
I
think?
know, I understand, but I want to explain why maybe the balloons came down.
Why did they?
Because the hole was too cold.
The hall was too cold, that
Yes,
made the helium?
yes, that made the helium
But some did
shrink.
work.
I don't
So,
really
I mean, if
understand
some would work
yet.
and others didn't, how can you blame the weather or the temperature in the room?
I don't really understand.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry for you, but anyway.
It's okay.
you're-
Thank you.
You seem like a good sport, okay? Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that. Okay, you've learned a lesson, maybe. Here comes Ms. Santiago now, the plaintiff. You get the $388 you were seeking. Bottom line is, how bad did this affect the wedding?
It affected me because I wanted, when you get married, you want everything perfect.
Sure.
Or as perfect as possible.
But, I mean, do you think everybody else noticed it?
They
Were there
did, they
complaints?
did.
Did you hear about it?
They did, but they tried to calm me down and said, don't worry, the balloons are all right. No, they weren't all right.
All
But
right.
thank God,
So,
everything came out the way I
okay.
thought it was.
Well, how is it being married now?
Oh, like for the last 29 years,
Yeah,
perfect.
right?
Thank God, yes.
Okay, good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, even though the balloons were delivered, the fact is they weren't there. They didn't do the job. I mean, they have to last long enough for the wedding. They didn't. That's why she got a full refund.